Well, with John Huntsman officially in the 2012 race and Michelle Bachmann all but officially in, is the GOP field set? Or are conservatives still hoping for a shakeup from the likes of, say, Texas Governor Rick Perry, the chairman of the Republican Party and the Republican National Committee? Reince Priebus is here with me this morning. Chairman Priebus, good to see you.
Hey, good morning, Chuck. How are you?
I'm good. I want to start with a couple of comments that we heard from Senator John McCain and Senator Lindsey Graham about some of the foreign policy views they are seeing from this current presidential field. Take a listen.
There's always been an isolationist strain in the Republican Party, the Pat Buchanan wing of our party, but now it seems to have moved more center stage, so to speak.
Are you fearful that there is an isolationist streak now running through the Republican Party?
All right, same question to you, Chairman Priebus. Are you fearful that this streak is running through the party?
Yeah, I'm not fearful of that at all. But this is one of these foreign policy issues, Chuck, that quite frankly, I mean, as chairman of the National Party, I have to trust the generals on the ground. I have to trust the commander-in-chief. I have to trust Speaker Boehner and the president and all the people that have this confidential information to make these decisions. And I think you know as well as I do. I mean, just like you, I don't have that confidential information. So I mean, these are some of the issues where, as party chairman, I just have to believe that our generals and our commander-in-chief and people like Mitch McConnell and Speaker Boehner are looking at this and making these smart, intelligent decisions for our future. And I mean, that's the honest-to-God truth of
no,
how
I understand it, but I've had plenty of Republican Party leaders say to me over the years, there are three legs to the stool when it comes to the Republican Party. There's social conservatism, there's fiscal conservatism, and there's a sort of hawkish national security leg to that stool. It's that leg that you hear Senators Graham and McCain seem to be nervous about, and they're not alone in this.
No, I don't, and I think that there's a debate to be had, but I mean, for me to insert myself in the middle of that debate, I just don't feel like that's an appropriate place for me to play, and because of the fact that I don't sit on the committees that Lindsey Graham and John McCain,
I understand that,
but I don't sit in the room with.
Do you want the party to be seen as looking like it's somehow more of a retreating on the national security front? Would that be a concern to you if the party was seen that way as a whole?
Well, I kind of reject the premise, I guess, Chuck. I don't see it as whether it's a matter of retreating or a matter of being a hawk or a dove. I think it's a matter of having an intelligent conversation with people and leaders that are meeting with our generals and our commander-in-chief with the information that you and I don't have, and making intelligent decisions in regard to the future of our presence in the Middle East. And as much as I'd love to engage, and I just can't, because I don't have the information, and I don't think it's an appropriate place for the party chairman to insert himself into.
Let's talk about some places that it is appropriate for you to insert yourself into, and that is your party's fundraising. You look at it on one level, and the first 6 months of your tenure compared to the first 6 months of Michael Steele's tenure, the fundraising numbers are essentially identical on Ray's. Now, it's the cash on hand numbers where you separate yourself from Michael Steele, a much larger balance, and in fairness, that's probably how you should be judged. But tell me this on the fundraising front: why is it the same? Why is it that you haven't broken out? Is there an explanation for that?
Well, we have broken out. I mean, if you look at, and I think you laid it out perfectly. I mean, you can look at, in political fundraising, you can look at top line revenue numbers, but if you're spending more money than you're taking in the first 6 months, that's a problem. I mean, and it depends on, in political fundraising, where your money's coming from. We'll, by the end of June, Chuck, have raised more money in our major donor pots, those are our major donor programs, than the previous 2 years combined by the end of June. So that allows us to put a lot of money in the bank. It allows us to pay off almost $6 million on the debt. I don't think anyone had a problem with gross revenue numbers, and that's never been an issue.
That's how we spent it.
In the past, it was a matter of expenses and where you're raising your money and how much it costs to bring in the money that you're raising. I mean, if you know, we can you can give away paperweights and letter openers all day long, but if you're not raising more money than what you're spending, then that's a problem. So I don't want to get into the gossip about the past. We've turned things around. Major donors are coming back, and things are going fantastic.
All right. Another thing that you have some control over, the presidential primary calendar. Are we any closer to a resolution with the state of Florida? Where do things stand? Are you still confident that the first caucus or primary will be in February and not earlier?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm confident it's going to be in February. I'm confident that you and all of your colleagues are not going to have to be in Iowa and New Hampshire over the holidays. That's something I don't think any American wants to see. But, you know, Florida's working towards a resolution, and we're working with them very closely, Chuck, and I think it's for the better. You know, I don't have any concrete answer for you yet, but I can tell you that I feel pretty positive that things are moving in the right direction.
And that Florida will probably be 5th before Super Tuesday?
I don't know about 5th, Chuck. I just know that I feel better today about Florida not being in February than I did 3 months ago.
All right. Reince Priebus, Chairman of the Republican National Committee. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Thank you, sir.